To a VO's journey. I'm live. Can you believe it? Crazy times. I wanted to come live to you guys today to hopefully have a discussion with everybody and talk to everybody about some of the new stuff that I'm doing at a VO's journey, some things that are going on that I think you're going to be really excited about. And yeah, I mean, there's been a lot happening. Clearly, been one of the biggest things that's been going on the channel is a lot of new content. So I've been putting out different types of content. Been putting out shorts on YouTube. I've been putting out reels on Instagram. Been doing a lot of different types of content. A little bit more. Some of it's been a little more silly and more who I am, a little less reserved. So, I've been trying to spice some things up and put some stuff out. And I wanted to do this live today to talk to you guys, get some of your feedback and thoughts, because it's been an interesting ride so far over the last week, putting out new content. Views and engagement are way up, but at the same time I've noticed some people are like, hey, why are you doing that? So I wanted to kind of talk to you about it today and see how you could benefit from it too, and doing new and different types of content. Also, real quick, something really exciting, just if you haven't known, we have, of course, a VO's Journey voiceover conference is live, and you are able to get tickets. Very super excited about that. You can, I'll post the link. There'll be a link down below for that. I probably should have had a link, but that's available. So, I'm excited about that. Hey, by the way, if you're in here and you're watching, go ahead and leave a message or a comment and say hello. I've got it's been funny because it's been so long since I've used Restream to go live around all different channels, and right now I don't know who all it looks like on YouTube, and we've got Facebook, I've got LinkedIn. So it'd be great if you guys would say hello. Hey, what's up, Brian? Glad this thing still works. So Restream has what's up, Mario? Has all this kind of fancy stuff that I can use to see who's commenting and stuff. Hey, Jeff, Sandoon, what's up? Doug, the greatest reset, the return of Jesus Christ. What's that? What? Hello from Wally. What's up, Wally from North Georgia? What's up? Watching live on Facebook from beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Awesome. Hey, you guys, it's so good to see you and to have you guys coming in here. So, like I was saying earlier, I've been putting out a lot of new content recently, and you're keeping me company in the car while I'm waiting. That's awesome. And wow, from Sri Lanka. Welcome, Sandy. That's awesome. So Jeff from the UK, what's up? So like I said, I've been putting out a lot of new content, and it's gotten some mixed reviews. I will be honest with you though. So I've been putting out a lot of shorter form content. So let me kind of tell you what's been going on and some things that, as you know about me, I'm all about making sure that we are forging ahead, being a part of what's coming or what's here right now, and not being stuck in the past. I've been doing the same type of content for almost 6 years now, and it's wonderful. It's important. I love to teach and to get out there, but there's also some new types of content, shorter pieces of content, minute or less, that's becoming very popular. And let's be honest, a lot of us don't have time to watch 10 minutes. And I know that because a lot of my videos tell me that. People don't have time to watch all 10 minutes and everything. Hey, Angela, good to have you. So I've been starting to put out just recently, over the last week, some new content, shorter content, different things. Putting out the coffee talk that I've been putting out. It's a minute or less. I started doing some, movie trailers. Now I've done those in the past a little bit, and those are fun. They're fun for me to do. They're cool. They also showcase some, how my voice sounds doing trailers and stuff for movies, and that's a really neat thing. So it's not only good for the community to see that, I think, but it's also good for opportunities for voiceover work. There's also I just put out a new piece of content last night called Nightcap, and this is from a character that I created back when I was in college. And I've never had a chance to do some of these things, because at heart, I started this journey in my life as an actor. on a stage actor, and a character actor. That's what I did for years and years and years. And voiceover has given me a way to continue to perform, but also have a stable home environment, and a family that I can see every day, that I don't have to travel around. When I was younger, when I did professional work, I was always traveling as an actor. So, I decided that after looking at data and everything recently, that a VO's journey is, I mean, it is one of the greatest things I think that I've ever had the fortune of creating in my life. And it's all because of you all and the community that we have. So I want to thank you all for that. And I noticed that at a certain point here, especially within the last 6 months to a year, we've kind of hit somewhat of a wall. And I think that's just meaning that platforms like, for example, Instagram or Facebook, Facebook and Instagram have been around now forever. And there's so many different, thanks, Brian. There's so many different avenues now with, TikTok and shorter forms of content. YouTube is pushing shorts really hard, and they're doing a lot of different things. And I think that, I'm not saying Instagram is done with, but I think that these platforms in the state that they were in 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, when I really started doing this content and the things that I was doing, they've changed, right? The world's changed. So it's important that we look at it from that standpoint too, and we continue to change as well. And what I mean by that is that, we could still stay true to what we believe and what we do, but at the same time, take advantage of what's happening. So for example, on Instagram or Instagram Reels, Reels, the short form content, YouTube Shorts, these things we've put out, or they're pushing the shorter form content more to their users. So if you're just starting and you're trying to find a following on YouTube or social media in general, right? It's good to use the short form content because they're pushing it out more. And here's the thing too to think about. I hear this all the time. It is so important that you build your community, even if that community is voice actors. And I'm going to tell you why. The more and more I do this, and the more and more I see, and the more reach I get, the more I see how much work goes through our community from our community, right? Like I get a job and I'm just like, oh, it's not for me, but they're asking me if I know anybody. Well, I share the job with people I know. So many casting calls on Twitter. It's gone insane. If you want to be in the indie gaming character world, you've got to be on Twitter and be a part of those casting calls. There are multiple ones every single day, right? I'm just putting it out there in that community. There's so much that's happening through our voiceover community. It really does, for me, shed the misnomer that we shouldn't be building a community of voice actors for, and because think about it. And if you, a perfect example, I was talking to one of the people from a VO's journey the other day, and they were talking about, reminded me of that. Do you guys remember that documentary on Netflix they did a while back when they had a lot of the really famous voice actors in documentary, and she pointed out that she remembered that they were saying, a lot of them were saying that the majority of the work that they had gotten was from other voice actors, right? Who had found a job. And they mentioned that. Oh, that's funny. Do you see that little thing? They got a job and they would mention it, and they would then get the job from another voice actor. Or I remember when I interviewed Brent Allen Hagel, right? First time, he talked a lot about how when he was doing work, he would get phone calls, he would get jobs, but it wasn't for him. So he would find other, they were just looking for voice actors. But they knew him, but he wasn't, if they were looking for a female or they were looking for someone with a different voice tone or style. And he would take that and bring it to other people, and give them the work and find people for those jobs. So building your community, whether it's voice actors or not, is really important. And utilizing the things that are available today that are being pushed further on, then the old form type of content is really good. Now, I work with a lot of voice actors, and a lot of us, I'm noticing, which I'm very proud of you, are just starting to get up some things, like you're doing your own trailers and things like that, which is wonderful. But stay up to date with what's happening, and you got to make a shift. And I want to be honest with you, it's okay. There's going to be some people who disagree with what you're doing. Some people maybe don't want you to be funny, or maybe they don't think you're funny. That's okay too. But you've got to just keep pushing and forging ahead and trying these new things. So for VO's journey, I think I've made the decision that I'm going to continue with the videos, because I put out a couple of videos with a different format, and I noticed that it was, these are and this is interesting stuff I want to share with you. So I noticed that those two videos I put out, they had the least amount of views I've ever had on any of my videos. However, they had some of the highest interaction. And it's very interesting, and I don't understand. Well, I'm starting to understand the algorithms a little bit more the more content I put out. That's another thing. The more content you put out, and the faster you put it out, I'm starting to see. So here's what I've learned too about putting out content to get more views. The first few seconds, the first few minutes that you put out a piece of content, they are imperative to how far that content goes. Now, does that vary? Of course. But for example, if I put out a piece of content and it gets a bunch of likes within those first couple of minutes, then that platform is going to share that all over. But if you put something out and it takes a long time, like it does not get likes and views and so forth fast, the platform is not going to share it very far. And I've been doing it because putting out these shorts, so I've been putting out about like 3 pieces of content, or trying to 2 or 3 pieces of content each day in short form. So it's not like it's terribly hard, although the videos, the trailer videos are tough to make. They take me longer, clearly. But like some of the shorts and the character stuff, I'm using Filmora to make my little videos, right? And to make sure I'm making them in 1080 by 1920. That's another little thing. But Fiverr going on. Anywho, the point here is that I'm finding that if you get your stuff out there and it takes off in the beginning, then they're going to share it with you everywhere. So here's the thing. I've been learning a lot about it, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain the video. But anyways, about the videos, I got sidetracked because you know me. The videos were not getting a lot of views at all. The couple of videos I did where I did the different format, and I added some things and added some funny bits, but the interaction is through the roof. Like the comments and everything, but they came after, so that doesn't boost. And I noticed too that those 2 videos were put up at different times, right, of the day. So like different times than I usually post, which most of the times, like right now, it's 1:47. The best time I found posting videos like this nature are really between 11 and 2 p.m. Like 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern. That seems to be a really good time. People are at lunch, people get, viewing or whatever. Or I've just done it so much that it's created, for me at least on my channel, that people expect to see videos from me at that time. Could be both. But I've noticed that that's what's happening on those videos, that one was put out real late at night and another one was put out at like 7 p.m. So those didn't do very well. And it could have been too from the time that I put them out, so they didn't get the views that they normally get. But it is definitely interesting because the engagement's through the roof. Now, some of these videos, the shorts and things I'm putting out. So last night I did a new thing called Nightcap. And like I had said earlier, it was a character I created in college. And I've always wanted to do, it was a lot more brazen when I was in college, of course. But that's a little more toned down bit. But it's fun. I enjoy it. And it's, I think so much of the time we're afraid to put ourselves out there because of all the stuff that you expose yourself to. But at the same time, I find that now more than ever, you got to be you, have fun. And what's funny? People can tell. So I've been putting out content for years and years. And I don't know about you, but it's been good information. It is good information. It's great information. But for me personally, it's become very, uh, what is the word I'm looking for? For me, just habitual, more like a job, right? Not as fun as it once was to share and to help, the community. And it could be possibly because I've been doing it for 5 years. Videos every single week and videos every single week over and over and over again. I mean, there's hundreds. I have, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. So I think that this has given me some more excitement in putting out new and different types of content in a different format. And it allows me to create something fun. Now, I do want to also respect the wonderful people who have been with me and helped build the VO's journey. So I do think, going live like this, I'd like to do more because I love hearing what people are saying and chatting. And if you have questions or comments about what you've been seeing or what's going on with you or my content, please put it in the chat so that we can talk about it. But I think, moving forward, I'm definitely going to keep maybe the video format like this of putting out a video, but I'm also going to keep the short form because I really enjoy it. It's fun. I think it makes I have fun. You know what I mean? I can actually, goof around and put out stuff. And if people like it, that's great. And they can enjoy it. They can. And then it also gives me a chance to get back to my character work. When I first started in voiceover, all I wanted to do, which most of us do, if we're goofballs like me, is be character actors. But a lot of times we don't know where to start, where to go, how to really break into it, especially if we're not in LA, So I think nowadays, if you're a character actor, but you don't live in LA and you're trying to get yourself out there, this could be, these short forms of content, they build you a following. Here's another thing. Longevity is important for any of us. And I was just talking about this earlier today in a session, a coaching session I had. I think it's we were talking about, as you get older, right, your voice changes, things change, what certain genres are looking for certain ages of voice actors, whether it's male or female, whether it's, from 20 to 30 to 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50, 60, 60, 60 to 70, and the different changes in your voice, where you are, what kind of work you can get, what kind of work you can't get. But here's what I love about social media and these and basically you're creating your own shows, is that if you build a big enough community, it doesn't matter what age you are or who you are or where you're from, you've built a community that stands on its own because of the sheer number. And there are so many people nowadays, actors especially, who are being hired because of the community they have. Now, don't get me wrong. This is another different path that, that you could go down. But I'm just saying that don't think that because you're building a community that it can't be voice actors or other actors. I think that's the best community. I think we're the best community. And I think that I know that you can get lots of work, voiceover work, through our voiceover community. Okay? I mean, think about it. I mean, that's what networking with other voice actors is about. I'm sure many of you here have gotten work from other voice actors. Okay? Or you've seen casting calls put up by many other voice actors. The more networking you have, the more people you know, the more work you're going to get. So I wanted to share and get your opinions about that content that I've been putting up, because there has been some, like I said, there's been some people who were not very happy about it, and that's okay. I respect their opinions. I'm not sure I always understand, but I respect it. And it's something that we, as putting ourselves out there and doing things, have to expect. So what do you guys think? What are some thoughts? Let's see. We've got good points you are making. Thank you, JP. We got Brian says, laughing at the nightcap. It reminds me of Alan Allman Candlelight from the Detroit radio station from the 90s. Love it. The silencer says, hi, Anthony. I find hard to deliver emotions through words. Yeah, I mean, I think that is our job, our biggest challenge, and our lifetime pursuit. think about it in everything. Communication is everything. I read this book once. It was really, I can't remember what it was, but the idea is that where you are right now is a direct reflection of how good you communicate, right? How good you can communicate. All right. It could be a direct reflection of where you are right now in your life. And I actually, the older I get, the more I see, the more I do, the more I believe it. The better that I am, the better that I am communicate. That couldn't have come at a better time, right? If I am, the better that I get at communicating, articulating what I am trying to accomplish, how I'm trying to accomplish, why I'm trying to accomplish it, where I'm trying to accomplish it, who I'm trying to accomplish it, and be able to share that to you in a manner in which you understand, you not only understand, but maybe you relate, the more I'm going to be able to move forward and to help both of us, right? I mean, so that is very important, and I do think that communication is everything. So if you are struggling with that, first off, give yourself a break, because that's what we all do every day. We all struggle with trying to do it better than we did the day before. All right. But I do find that a lot of times it comes with you focusing your efforts on, what is it that you are trying to say? What message are you trying to get across? And if you focus yourself on that, that's very helpful. Another thing, please listen to other voice actors, watch movies, watch plays, and don't just watch them for the entertainment value. Yes, please do. But one of the best ways for you to grow as a voice actor or an actor in general is to watch these performances that people do and analyze them. Look at them and say, wow, that made me feel a certain way. What did they do? Acting is imitation. Please don't ever forget that. Not impersonation, even though impersonation is a part of our industry, but imitation, all right? Acting is imitation. We are imitating emotion. We're imitating real life, all right? We're imitating situations. And for us voice actors, we have to be able to do it on a drop of a dime, which leads me to the point where it can become a lot more technical for us, meaning like I offer 5 different styles right now. You know what I mean? I have an authoritative style. I have a conversational style. And I've got a crazy, wacky character style. You've got all these different styles that you can create, and now you are able to, get into them. Reference files using these people are very good too. Having a reference to like a YouTube video or a video that you've taken, and you can go back and watch this a little bit of and get you in the right mindset. That's really important. So I hope that kind of helps just in thoughts. Let's see. We got JP. Happy Friday from sunny Ireland. What's up, JP? Earl, good point you were making. Thank you. Raphael, what's up? Stephanie says, Stephanie, hi. Hi, Stephanie. It's good to have you. Insightful. Thank you for sharing, Anthony. Absolutely. It's great to have you, Stephanie. Let's see. Learn audio basics. Hey there, Anthony. Just a quick question about how we're looking time-wise for your Fiverr gig reviews from your website. I have an order from the beginning of June and was curious. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. You are definitely on the docket, and I will get to it ASAP. So thank you very much for putting that in there. Busy, but thank you. Michael, let's see. I like participating in live videos. They are fun and informative. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Jeff, I'm sorry I missed a small portion while receiving my daily honey-do list. What program software do you use for your content? Yeah, thank you. So I'm using Filmora. Filmora is a big, it's become now my number one. So before I was using Adobe Premiere Pro, and that's a good program, no doubt. It's Adobe Premiere Pro. But I actually didn't. It's very clunky. It's difficult to learn. Once you learn it, I'm sure you're fine with it. And there's a lot of, it's a program that you can use and you can do so much with it and manipulate it and everything. But it's been a massive learning curve for me, and I actually it's been very not successful. I use Filmora. It's Filmora 11 now from Wondershare, and it is fantastic. I love it. I'm doing all my videos. It helps me pump them out really fast. It's great. I recommend it. Filmora from Wondershare. Sounds like a crazy video from the 70s, doesn't it? But yeah, that's what it is. Okay, let's see. Learn. Like I've been commenting, I love the new content. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. From Learn Audio Basics. Earl says, glad we are connected, Anthony. Thanks for being helpful to my podcast, Voice Power. Cool. Thank you, Earl. The Silencer says, thanks very much, Anthony. Thank you. Nikki, what's up, Nikki? Good to have you. Says, go back. You missed my message. Okay, what was it? Go back. You missed my message. How far back? Nikki. Okay, Nikki says, hey, Anthony, I'm loving the new fun shorts and vids. Thank you so much, Nikki. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Lauren says, thanks for the update on that, Anthony. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Steven says, what's up? AP, what's up, Steven? Good to have you. Michael says, I look forward to Tuesdays at noon so I can hang out with Angela and friends. Absolutely. Angela, now on Tuesday, what is Angela doing at Tuesday? Which Angela are we talking about? There's a lot of Angelas. Not sure what you mean, but that's cool. John says, hello, Anthony. John K here. What's up, John? It's good to have you, my friend. It's nice to see you. Jeff says, Phil Moore, thank you. Yeah, it's with an F. It's actually with an F, not PH. That might help you, but it's Phil Moore. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's like if iMovie was 10 times better. Because I love iMovie, but it's actually Phil Moore is like if it was 10 times better. So, and it's way easier, fast, nice to understand. It's just a good platform. By the way, guys, just on a side note, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel to be a part of all this interesting and unique content that I put out to help you grow your voiceover business, could you please subscribe? I would appreciate it. Also hit that like button and make sure you hit the notification bell. The notification bell, if you want, this is important too. And by the way, if you're setting up your own account, don't forget to tell people this. Because if you don't hit that notification bell and you don't hit everything when you hit the little notification bell, you don't actually get notified. Like, it's crazy. So you have to do, and I don't know when YouTube they implemented it a few years ago, but it used to be that you just hit the notification bell is fine, but now you got to hit the notification bell and you got to hit be notified every time they post, or there's some different options, which is not bad. It just means that you've got to really, like, if people are just watching the videos or not really paying attention to that, they don't know. So if you are trying to get people to watch your content too, make sure that you are fully aware of how they're doing it and try to explain it. I don't do enough of that, because I always feel like I'm trying to, sell people, subscribe. But I do know that it does help. Again, like I was saying in the beginning with content, the more interaction that you can get in the opening minutes of your videos and content, the more you're going to get yourself out there. Okay, let's see. Sally says new shorts are helping. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate it. I really am enjoying making them. They're a lot of fun. It's a blast. And I'm noticing that, like I was saying before, there's been a lot of people commenting, a lot of engagement, and a lot of them are getting, it's almost like the Wild West. Some videos go crazy and get a lot of views, some barely get any views, and it's been exciting in some sense to see how these companies too, these social media companies, are working through how the content is going out, what's making them. So like I said, what I'm learning is that engagement in the beginning is very important. That's why you hear people say clickbait and so forth to get people to click or like, but it's more like are people liking, are people commenting on your work quickly? I put out the other 2 nights ago a voiceover challenge. That was a lot of fun. And a voiceover challenge I put out got like crazy, like it was the biggest on TikTok, right? I mean, I got over 100 subscribers in less than 24 hours, and I was on that I've been on that platform for like a year putting content, and only had like 350 subscribers. Now I'm close to 500 over one video. But here's another thing. So here's another tip. What's trending is also pushed on platforms. right? So don't forget to do those trending things too, even though they might seem silly to you. Remember, this is we're a community having fun as well as working. So it's not wrong to have fun while we work, because if we're not, why the hell are we doing this? Right? I mean, I wanted to do voiceover because it's fun. And part of being, part of the having fun for me is being goofy from time to time. And that might not be you, and that's okay too, but at least you can engage in it and take away information and analyze that information. If you're like me, which I love being goofy and fun and doing character stuff, but I also have this weird penchant, if you will, if I was French, for I don't know where that came from, because see, my goofiness comes out, right? I think for data. I love data. I love just seeing analytics and seeing how things work, and all that's kind of cool, because there's like mysteries can be demystified, if you know that. Anywho. All right, what other questions you got for me? Let's see. Jeff says, what are must to have within a content? Wait. Nikki says, I missed some. Okay, Joe says, heard you on a commercial in Southern Ontario. Congrats on all your success, man. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Nikki says, I had the time to watch those, time to something I don't have much of, so I feel like, and thank you, Nikki, for that. I think that's another thing that the people are understanding are happening, right? Same thing with audiobooks. They're noticing shorter audiobooks are working more now than they have been in the past. Same with audio dramas, right? Shorter audio dramas and things like that, where like audio dramas are becoming very popular, right? I think they had Penguin Random House Audio recently had a workshop, and they were talking about that they're doing more audio dramas. We got to stay up to date with things that are going on. Websites like Fiverr, yes, that's great, but they're, that's news, that's yesteryear news. You know what I mean? I mean, they're all those different things that some people still harp on. Not saying anything's wrong with it. That's their opinions, but that's over. That like, to me, that's in the past. Like, not meaning like I'm not on those platforms. I mean, like, the argument and the wow about them, that's in the past. They're established markets for us to give voiceover work. Now there's other places for us to go. There's new trending things happening for us to get, to continue moving forward. And make no mistake, we are the voices for the future. We are the voices. We are the ones who relay the messages of the future. So it makes no sense if we are not staying up to date with what's happening in the future, right? Or staying up to date with the trends. We're those voices. When someone wants to get out a message for the future, who do they come to? They come to us. So it's just, in my mind, it's important that we stay on top of that so we know what's going on. All right, that's my spiel. Let's see. Jeff says, what are must to have within our content to market? So I think, Jeff, here's something that I have struggled with, but I've also done well with, I think. I think that the thing is consistency always. It's very important that you could be consistent, but at the same time have fun. You notice I'm talking about different things here, but I think that, like, for example, think of every social media channel or every social media company as a different TV channel. Think of it this way. Twitter is definitely a different TV channel than Instagram. YouTube is definitely a different TV channel than TikTok. All right? You see what I'm saying? And on these platforms, the audience expects a certain type of content. So it's important that you fit in, or you put in that kind of content on those platforms, because that's what is happening on those, on those platforms. Just like on LinkedIn, right? I always wonder, should I be posting more comedic and more entertainment stuff on LinkedIn? You know what I mean? Because, LinkedIn is not that sort of place per se. Okay, we go to LinkedIn expecting, to find like-minded other business professionals to connect and to learn more about what's happening in the business community, and maybe, an exchange of services, things like that. However, what I find is that more and more of these platforms, they are still social at heart. So if you're looking at what can you create on social media, first thing I would mention is start by sticking with these shorter forms of content. Like, they're easier to create, they're faster. You don't have to have, hours of editing work on them, although you can when you're first starting out, trust me. But, that's one thing. And determine whether you want 3 different types of things. Do you want it to be entertaining? Do you want it to be educational? Or do you want it to be inspiring? Or do you want it to be all 3 or 2? So like for me, I've always been doing educational work. Right now I'm trying to do more educational and entertaining. I'm trying to add another one into it and do some more entertaining stuff. And what I noticed is again, I'm seeing a lot more engagement from people on the entertaining side because it becomes a little more interesting to watch than some, old dude who keeps getting on here and telling you guys over and over, get on a platform. Like that's not bad advice. It's good advice, but it's also boring after a while. So I think it's important for you also to put something out that you have fun with. And if I keep putting stuff out and you guys, no one's looking at it, no one's liking it, no one's commenting on it, clearly it's not working. All right. Now I can tell you again, I'm learning a lot about the different algorithms and how they work. And that's another thing. When you put your content out, what that interaction is it trending? So, I recommend you start watching just some videos about what people are doing. Okay. And here's the thing. I get this question a lot. I'm going to talk about it with you guys. They're like, Anthony, I want to do social media, but how do I know what kind of content to put out? Which I think maybe is what you're kind of trying to ask, Jeff. And, should I be, I'm trying to get voiceover work. So should I be putting out like commercial? What do I put out? So right there, I think that's where we all get hung up on. And what I want to offer you is a different way of looking at it. Instead of thinking about putting out things that you think are going to get you work, like commercials or things about who you are or what you do, think about creating your brand. Think about creating, fans. I've talked about this book called Fanology for a while. It's a wonderful book. And it talks a lot about how, when we're starting online to build a business, what we really should be starting to do is to create fans. People who like what you're doing, who enjoy your content. And then from that fans, right, then they become followers. They become people who have started to actively make you and your content a part of their daily lives. Okay. From followers, right, then they become trusted friends, even if you will. All right. Or trusted colleagues to where now they trust you to the point where they might purchase something from you, want to work with you. They're willing to take your advice because you've built that with them over time. It's a wonderful book. And a lot of times, me, I forge ahead. I don't know why I'm doing something, but I'm doing it because I want to, because it feels right to me. And then I learn later what I was doing. It's probably not the bull in the china shop method. But the point here, though, is that, create a show. I mean, I did that silly nightcap thing. I don't know if anyone's going to like it or not like it. It's just the first episode, but it could be fun. And all I plan on doing, literally, I'll tell you what I plan on doing with that. And we can all follow it as an experiment to see what happens, right? All I'm going to do is that character will come on every night and we'll do, I want to get like a smoking jacket and all kinds of stuff, but it'll come on every night and do some sort of funny quote, like the one last night. And you know what else too? You guys remember that one character, the most interesting man in the world? I love that character. Was the old, was it Dos Equis or whatever? The most interesting man in the world. That guy is or the Chuck Norris stuff, the Chuck Norris jokes. They're funny. It's humorous and it's quick. You know what I mean? And it can be shared and it can be fun. So I'm interested to see what happens with that character and if someone interested. And what would be interesting is you build that enough, right? Remember, who's running these companies that are hiring you? People, right? So it makes sense for us to engage and get people to follow us. All right. And if you stress so much all the time about who it is or what you're doing, who is you're trying to get to follow, that's not a bad thing. But sometimes you can get that analysis paralysis and it stops you dead in your tracks. So I really think that create a show, create something fun that you enjoy. Even if you're talking about Star Trek: The Next Generation, for God's sakes. How many people love Star Trek? I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. Talk about, create a show about, I don't know, and the show could be a minute long or less, like I'm doing. It could be silly, or it could be insightful, or it could be entertaining. It could be inspirational. All right. And if you don't know what to do, to document what you're doing. Start somewhere. Just start. Get on there. Let's see. That was a lot, Jeff. Sorry. Michael says Angela Olfest, she starts with a survey and then answers questions in general VO chat stuff. Oh, you're talking about when Angela goes live. Okay, cool. Yeah. Because Angela also is one of our coaches in our VO's Journey Elite Academy. So that's why I didn't know what you meant, because she's on Friday, not Tuesday. Jim says quick, straightforward, and to the point. Excellent. Thank you, Jim. Nikki says, do you think like you have a new lease on VoiceOver Life with your new studio space there? Nikki, I will, that is a really interesting question. I think it is, because I haven't, and actually that's a really good question, Nikki. Yes. I have, not only do I have this room, but then I have, my studio's over there in another room, like that's attached, because the studio is at about 4 or 5 by 10. And like I can do so much and lighting and things. And originally I wanted my studio to always be a recording space too, so I could do more fun stuff in there. But my previous locations, I didn't have the room, or, it was either my hobo Ford, or, the room was not built that way, or I didn't know. But this space, it's like I shut the door and I'm just in my own world that I can create and do anything I want and have to. So you're actually, Nikki, you're absolutely right on. Thank you for that. I hadn't thought in that context before, but, interestingly enough, the more time I spend here now, the more I feel like that. So good call. Let's see. Jeff says, I'm currently using the RE20, good mic, to record VO. Do you use it for VO recording or just live podcasting? Great question, Jeff. I just use my RE20 for live broadcasting. I use the Sennheiser 416 shotgun microphone. That's what I use for my voiceovers. Why do I use difference? I love the way the 416 brings out that richness in my voice, and especially with the proximity that, I can get closer to that microphone and it makes it warmer and deep. Like, I just love the way it sounds. The broadcast microphone is sturdy. It's hardy. The RE20, I can do a lot with it. It makes a space that's not necessarily as treated as well still sounds good. Okay. But it does go to a point where it can down the road lack some of those, some of those a little bit more intricate type performances, or get all of those frequencies that you want to get. But it's a great microphone to do voiceovers with, but I use a 416. Good question, Jeff. Let's see. Cammie says, thank you for the live. Absolutely, Cammie. I used to do this every Friday. For any of those who remember, like, I think I did 70 or 80 in a row or something like that. And then it was kind of like, because it was I was only talking about Fiverr at the time. You know what I mean? And I think that, again, love the platform, but, it gets to a point, there's only so much you can talk about one darn thing. After a while, you're like, enough is enough. Scott, hey, Anthony, what's up, man? Learn audio. I usually go for edutainment. Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, right. I mean, like, education is great, but it's also great and when it's more engaging, right? And entertainment's a great way to engage, and especially if you use it as a learning tool. So thank you for that. Yeah. Super fans. My buddy Pat Flynn is great also. Oh my gosh. I have to tell you guys, Pat Flynn was a big influence years and years ago on me with building online business. And he was one of the reasons why when I started my business in 2017, or when I started working with voice actors in 2018 and 19 and a VO's journey, he was a big reason why I made it my goal to be transparent with finances. Because I think, what was it? It's called the Smart Podcast. What is it? Smart Passive Income from he's really become a massive podcaster now, but before that he was a big website person and YouTube videos and all kinds of stuff like that. And he put out a lot of blogging. He did a lot. He's been doing it for a long time. I think he was an engineer or something who had gotten let go or whatever, and then he just started creating his own business. But anyway, so yes, I love Pat Flynn. I haven't heard him in a while, but I know I get his stuff on the podcast though. My buddy. Oh, see you later. I did about 25 TikTok videos of a puppet character doing joke of the day. I got to do some more of those. That sounds hilarious, Scott. That sounds good. And don't forget what I'm trying to learn. And by the way, it's not always easy because it's not. But like, I've had next to no luck on TikTok until I created a voiceover challenge. And then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, like this platform's crazy powerful, right? It's unreal. And then people start liking my other videos and stuff. So make sure too, that you're using, the stuff that you want to do again with the platform and how they want, how they want it to be used and what they're pushing ahead. You know what I mean? Let's see. Mark says, I'm searching for a character to use for my new tour business. Cool. Yeah, mate. I mean, do whatever comes out naturally. I think that's fun. I mean, I don't know what kind of character work you do, but you should go for it. Now, are you looking for like hire a character voice actor? Because you got a lot of people here that'll be like, yes, please. Or you mean like you're looking to create a character? Just like sharks in the water, man. Don't say, hey, I need a voice actor. Well, I'll be on it. Well, I'll be after you, Mark. I was saying to my, it's funny. I was saying to my hubby the other day that Anthony just gets a light bulb idea and just gets it done. Thank you. Again, that's the bull in the china shop thing. I don't know. It's not always good, but it's something. It might not be perfect, but just goes for it. That's right. And now look at this empire in a VO conference. Oh, well, thank you, Nikki. Yeah, by the way, if you're just coming in, thank you for reminding me that, VO's Journey voiceover conference is live. You can get tickets. It's from October 14th to the 16th. And, we've got some incredible speakers. We've got people like Sean Allen Pratt. We've got there's the audiobook with nonfiction audiobook wizard. We've got Brent Allen Hagel, who is like unreal now. He, not only is he a star on social, but he runs his own promo business in. This phone's going on. He runs his own promo business in LA and all that stuff. And so we've got so many other. We've got Eli Harris coming doing about character work. We've got so many cool things. I wanted to get the real quick for you. I wanted to get a link to put in the chat, but you got to check that out. The tickets. I mean, it's literally 3 full days of just wonderful content and everything. So let me go ahead and here we go. Let me put it in the chat. I think there is. We have a storm going on here, so that's my daughter's running around screaming about the storm. Anyways, I was looking outside for the horses. I'm like, where's the horses out there kind of going crazy? Okay, so what is this person? Let's see, block you. I don't know who this person is. We're just going to have to block them. So anyways, what were we saying? Hello, Straight Words. I'm searching for the character. I was saying, okay, Straight New Worlds. Doug says, hello, Shadow. Let's see. Jeff Brooks says 416. I was looking at that. Yeah, it's a great mic. And the 103 is awesome too. I mean, they're very similar. One's a large diaphragm, one's a shotgun. They have different polar patterns and different sounds, but they're good mics. Anthony, my content on my YouTube channel is narrating shorts. Cool. It's been a minute since I've done one. I've been thinking about turning it up a notch lately. You should. And what I'm noticing also, and by the way, this is, I don't want to make it sound like it's easy, because it's not easy. Some people will be like, Anthony, I just can't put up 3 pieces of content a day. But I have to tell you, putting up shorts and putting up shorter pieces of content is a heck of a lot easier than putting up longer pieces of content. Trust me, the time it takes to put up a 10-minute video as opposed to, a 1 minute or less video is night and day difference. Okay. But, I will say that I'm noticing a lot more by putting up more content daily. Really by putting up more content, I'm getting to see more what works, what doesn't work. So it's actually kind of cool, to see it that way, especially when I'm trying out new shows. So Kemi, you should absolutely. Let's see, Learn Basics. Pat is amazing. I was a live chat mod for him for an entire year straight on YouTube when he streamed every day. Wow, that is awesome. Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy too. So Brian says, take cover. That's right. I'm glad I caught you online. This is from, oh gosh, I'm going to butcher your name. Zerifriel? Z Raphael? I apologize. What are some of your favorite mics, budget aside? 3 from condenser and 3 from dynamic. Thank you. Yeah, so, clearly when it comes to dynamic microphones, I'm going to say the RE20. But this one is a little bit more expensive than its counterpart, right? Which is the SM7B, right? Which both of them are fantastic mics and podcasting mics, but do a great job because they're dynamic mics of, making your voice sound full, but at the same time blocking out some of your space. And I'm gonna tell you from a dynamic microphone standpoint, an oldie but goldie, especially if you've got noise that you're trying to get rid of in your background and you can't do anything about it, is the SM the Shure or the SM58. The 57, I think the 57 is for it's either the 57 or 58. I always get it mixed up. One's for, vocals. It's the ones that you always see like voiceover or musicians on stage singing with, right? Because they sing with, and the reason why, it's got the big ball head. It's fantastic, a dynamic microphone. It really is, because you got to get up close to the microphone. It's got a really nice pop type filter built into it automatically, and it blocks out noise because it doesn't pick up noise unless you get up closer to it. So that's an oldie but goldie, especially if you're just starting. You want an affordable one. I think it's under $200. It's a great mic. It's been a great mic for ever, like ever, right? They've been using it forever, literally. So when it comes to condenser microphones, of course, I mentioned 2 of them that I really love. The TLM 103 and my mic, the 416. I think that in the past, when it like a more budget friendly mic that I've seen a lot of people getting recently that works really well, the Rode NT1 is a good microphone. But I do like some of these other microphones that are just coming out, that they're newer ones, and I can't think of the names off the top of my head, but there are some newer ones coming out, and there are some newer USB microphones coming out. Okay, but I do like the NT1 more than the NT1A from Rode, though. I think that's a little better because the NT1A is super bright. I have the Rode NT1A, and it's so bright, but I keep it as like a backup mic. Now that Blue Yeti Pro that they came out with, it's not a bad USB mic to start, but they're, USB mics, don't count them out. Just like we were talking about the waves of the future. They will get better and better, and someday, they could just as well rival, some of these better mics. So I hope that helps, Brian. Or Zephro, sorry. Oscar says, you've been missed, brother. Thank you, Oscar. I appreciate it. It's been a while since I've gone live. It feels really good. Let's see. What's up? Woody, what's up, man? I'm thinking and working on one to highlight North Carolina. Kind of like a very British fact from Bruce. I love it. You should. It's, we should have, especially if you have fun with it. I'm tired of not having fun. Right? I'm tired. Oh, Lord, you hear the thundering out there. It's storming. Let's see. Cami says daily. Gladys says, hola, Anthony. I'm a new voiceover interested in audiobook narration and e-learning in Spanish. Cool. Where can I find Spanish-speaking community in Chicago? So Gladys, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea if anybody in the chat that's watching has any I'm not from Chicago. I don't know anyone in Chicago. I mean, I don't know any communities in Chicago. I'm sorry. I don't know Gladys, but I do know that you are in an amazing lane right now. I can't tell you how much business I lose because I don't speak Spanish or even sound like I speak, or even with a Spanish accent. If I could do a convincing accent, that would be even better. But it is a big lot of work right now, and I think it's great. But I'm sorry, Gladys, I don't know any. I love your videos. Thank you. I appreciate it, though. Danny says, hello, Anthony from San Diego. What's up? Good to have you, Danny. Space is everything. Absolutely. Nikki says, it's not much putting up the content that's an issue for me, but the words after and hashtags are like saying taxes to me. I just glaze over. Is there a shortcut or minimum requirement? So, Nikki, I think that it used to be for me, especially when I was really starting out on Instagram years and years ago, I would put up so many hashtags. But what I figure right now is 3 to 4 hashtags that are very relevant, but here's what's important. Like, I always put a voiceover on a hashtag, but like if I'm doing my movies, I'll make sure I hashtag those, like the movie, and I'll try to find the channel that the movie's using, right? Or if I'm doing, a funny challenge, I make sure I hashtag that challenge, or you know what I mean? So make sure you don't, I don't think you don't need 20 or 30 hashtags anymore, but it's good to make sure that the hashtags are very relevant to what you're doing. And most of these places, when you type in the hashtag, they're going to actually pop up with information for you about what hashtags. So it is daunting. It is daunting. Interestingly enough, I found that the things I post on my phone that sometimes have less, especially when it comes to shorts and stuff, seem to do better than the stuff I try to add tons of stuff to, like hashtags and everything. So again, I don't know if that's something they're trying to do something, but yeah, that's something to think about. Let's see. Learn says 57 is for instruments mostly. Thank you. Yep, the 58. Yep, from Shure. It's like a gold. It's like a gold microphone. I mean, it really has been around forever. It's fantastic. I used it on stage. People have been using it years and years, and it's still a good microphone. It works great for a dynamic microphone, and it's a good microphone to start with, especially if you're in a space where you don't have a lot of treatment that's available or a lot of noise canceling stuff. That's it's a good microphone. It's really robust. Right. It's been around for decades. Right, Sally? Exactly. Let's see. This says there are all no rules. Lots of vocals have been recorded with a 57 for sure. I have the NT1. Nice, Michael. Sandra says, I got an Aston. Now, I've never used an Aston, but man, I love the way they look. They just look so cool to me. If anybody, so you've used it, I don't know if you like it, but man, they look, I've just wanted one because I just want to have one. You know what I want to do? I want to have, because this is my show, I want to build like a shelf over there and just collect microphones and put them over there. Because I'm just a gear junkie, I'm like, ooh, look at this microphone I got. I don't know why, but it'd just be fun, right? But the Aston looks so cool. I just wanted to buy one because it looks so cool. But I've never actually recorded with one. Michael says, I started with the XML 990. Cool. Wesley says, NT1A is a bit bright. My Stellar X2 is way hot. Listen, what you'll notice with any equipment, and I learned this later on, but, we all start off usually with, the general equipment that's, inexpensive, what we can afford. But I can tell you this, there will get to a point where you will try to move beyond your equipment, and your equipment will only take you so far, and that's where you got to upgrade. Like if you find yourself and you can't seem to get the audio, you've tried everything. You've paid people, you've gone to workshops, you've paid for, you can't seem to get your audio right. It could be I'll be honest with you, it could be your equipment. Meaning like you could have passed beyond what your equipment is capable of. Does that make sense? So I think it's important sometimes to know, to just be aware of that. Let's see. Z said, thanks. I'm gonna call you Z. I'm sorry. Z says, what's your desert? What desert? I always get desert and dessert. Desert island, Mike? Isn't that dessert? Or am I totally wrong? Desert. I'm confused by what you mean by that, Z. Maria Benningfield, hello from Texas. Hey, Maria. Gladys, thanks for the feedback. Absolutely. Learn SEO is a pain for sure. Absolutely. Jeff says, I'm really excited too, on a side note, I'm excited about LinkedIn because I really haven't ever really gone live much on LinkedIn. And I'm really excited that I've been able to go live on LinkedIn too. So that's really awesome. Make sure you're following me on LinkedIn too. Are there still groups out there that get together weekly or monthly to practice and work together on scripts? There used to be many. Now I can't find one. Where do you find those groups? Jeff, that's great. There are tons of them out there. I recommend you join Discord, join lots of groups in Discord. We have many groups through a VO's journey that meet through the Academy that do that as well. So but there are lots out there that do meet through in the Facebook groups as well. But you just literally, Discord is a great place as well. I've really become fond of Discord because I really do like, here's the thing. I'm nothing against Facebook because Facebook has been amazing for me and my career and growing in voiceover business. But Facebook is, it's just, we all know, right? I mean, Facebook has had its time. It's still here. I don't think it'll ever go away per se, but it's not as like, I really like Discord. I like the ability to chat with people like we're doing here. Like you guys are making a comment. I can see, I can, talk to you. I can comment back to you on here if I wanted to. Like Discord allows you to do that. You can be in channels. You can set up there's bots in there that help you do things. It's a great community. I mean, you've kind of got your own designated server. You can talk to people in there. You can do video. You can chat. Like it's really wonderful. So there's a lot of other wonderful places out there other than Facebook, but Facebook is still, a lot of great community. And I always have a VO's Journey Facebook community, but I do love the Discord server. I do. It's a VO's Journey Elite Academy Discord server. I don't have a open one. I just have we have about 200 people in our server that are in the Academy. But I kept it that way because I will admit some of these are massive, like huge, and it's really tough to to like keep, because you want to keep it curated and a safe environment for everybody, and it's people aren't hacking products and things all the time. You want to make sure it's safe. So ours is private. But if you're in the Academy though, you just let me know, you can join it. But that's what our server is now. Although you do make me think all of a sudden, why don't I have more of a public? I could have more of a public server, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work. Sally Morel says, when you read messages, you can read them in a British accent. Yes, that's true. RCA, that's old school. Then you will need a 44BX and RCA in the 1940s. RA, Sally says, we are enjoying a huge growth in new mics. Must stay up with the game on info. You're right, and you got to think too. What's driving a lot of this mic stuff is podcasting, video games, right? Video games and streaming is driving a lot of the microphones. So it's good to stay up to date with those as well. Let's see. I used the AR2. Doug says I used the AT2020. It's not bad. Yeah. Techni, what's up? Hello, amazing videos. I have a question. Regrain brand names. Why am I'm not understanding what that is. Would you say it is better to have your real name as your brand, even though you have every normal name, or would you rather have an alias? Great question. So it really is up to you. Do you want anonymity or not? Branding in the end is familiarity. Okay, so you think about what is a brand. Brand is a familiarity. Now it's a familiarity with what something stands for, and it's often made that way by the use of a symbol. Okay, in my case, I branded a lot through that picture of mine, right? That picture of mine. Now I've worked very hard to change my name more to a VO's Journey, but I was very specific. And the reason why, because I have Anthony Pica VO and then I have VO's Journey, but a VO's Journey was on purpose for me because I realized that I wanted a business, a community that was more than just about me. That was about all, that was about voice actors and all of us, right? About everybody's journey, not just Anthony's journey. I might be the one who's talking most about my journey in the community, but it's about all of us. So I made it very specific. But my brand of my name is very clear. That's about me. But if you were like, and you said, hey, my Techni, I don't know if that's what that is, but if you're like, I'm Techni, and that's what you brand, it doesn't matter if you say that or your name, because that's what, if you create that familiarity with people, that's what they're going to recognize, right? The consistency is what builds it. All right. And then that familiarity is born out of that consistency, which builds your brand. Good question. So it's really, in the end, it's really what you're, up to you. But whatever you do, just be consistent with one thing. Don't have multiple things everywhere, because then, it'll be just a mess. Z says, my bad, I meant, what's your absolute favorite microphone? Just one. Well, again, the 416 is my favorite. Now, in all fairness, I have wanted to start to try more expensive microphones. I've always wanted to try the UA87. I've just never bought one because I've done thousands and thousands of voiceovers with my 416, and I love it. I enjoy the way it makes me sound. It's hard for me to think there's a better microphone out there for me, but some of these other microphones are super expensive. I think once you get over 1,000, and it's something like Mike Delgadio. By the way, Mike Delgadio, the booth junkie, he's going to be at our conference too, speaking. Super excited to have Mike. But Mike always says too, after you get over a microphone that's over $1,000 or so, the increments going up are a lot smaller. You know what I mean? You're not going to get as much of a difference in those microphones the higher you go. But I've definitely always wanted to try. If you want me to try a microphone that you have, send it over to me. I'm not popular enough to get Sweetwater to send me anything. If you're watching Sweetwater, dagnabbit, send me some equipment. Wouldn't that be nice if we could get just people send us equipment. Anyways, let's see. Okay, good. Thank you. Restream says, congratulations. You've earned 100 messages. Hey, good job, you guys. 100 minutes. That's awesome. What audio software do you use, Doug? Nikki says, do you use a software to deliver content to all platforms like Hootsuite? Okay, I used to use Hootsuite. Religiously, and it's not bad. I find that the platforms they just seemed like they didn't like you using another platform to post your stuff from, because my stuff wouldn't get as much. I've noticed that no matter what, and here's another little tip. For the longest time, I would post something on YouTube, right, and then post it everywhere, and that's okay if you're just trying to build your YouTube account. But all of these sites want you to upload that content natively to their site, right? They want it directly onto their site. So I don't think there's anything wrong using Hootsuite, but I think after a while, I think they don't like Hootsuite, or they don't like you using third parties to repost, post your stuff. But I use Hootsuite a long time. I don't use it anymore. Tim says, hey, Anthony, nice to see you live. Thank you, Tim. It's truly a golden age for mics. So many quality options for reasonable dough. It's easy to get gear obsessed and forget the actual use. Yeah. All right. It becomes a habit, right? Let's see. Sally says, at Cami, Adobe Audition is great. Sorry, I must have missed Camis or something. So DAWs, there's Adobe Audition, Studio One, Reaper, Pro Tools, Audacity, Twisted Wave. There's so many different DAWs out there that you could use, but those kind of Adobe Audition, Reaper, Studio One have kind of become the three go-to ones, and Audacity when people start, and of course Isotope is really good plugin wise. Cami says, we'll do a little bit more, you guys, and then I don't even know how long we've been doing this. It's been like an hour and a half. I don't know. It's been fun though. Cami says, or let's see, Technique says, okay, thank you very much for the answer. Absolutely. Cami says, is there a subscription to Adobe Audition? Yes, there is that's it. So that's the only thing with Adobe Audition. There is a subscription with it, where Studio One and Reaper, you have a buyout on them, I believe. So that's nice. But I just use Adobe Audition forever, so I love the way it is. So I will tell you this, whatever you start with, changing DAWs, I don't know why, but it is so hard. Like you just because you got to familiarize yourself with everything and where it is. So it does help to work with professionals. Like one of our speakers, and one of our speakers at the conference, and one of our coaches, Don Barnes, who is a legend in the field of tech. He uses Studio One, and lives by it, swears by it. I think it's a great platform. I have it, but I use Adobe Audition just because I've used it forever. So. Let's see. Wink, wink, haha. Let's see. Danny says, just starting my VO journey initially as a hobby, side hustle. Currently, chemical engineering consultant. What are your thoughts about investing in a portable vocal booth? Let's see. Hold on one second. I got some of these people about their. Yeah, okay. Sorry. So about a portable vocal booth before a whisper room. Yeah, so I think a lot of us start out with a closet, a hobo fort, something. For a period of time, I thought about what would be really cool because I would travel with something and I always have an issue. Like it'd be cool to make a more travel friendly vocal booth that worked better than the Chaotica eyeball. No offense to Chaotica, all right, they're a nice company, but their stuff definitely sounds like it works probably way more for vocals like musicians, singers than it does necessarily for voice actors because singers can have a little bit of room tone. Okay, but for voice actors, that doesn't help us at all. So I do know there are some things out there. The big one is, what is the big one that's a portable one, which I've always wanted to try. Danny, thank you so much. Danny did a super chat. I didn't even forgot about that. You can donate to the channel. I really appreciate that, Danny. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. It's what is that one called, you guys? It's a big one. It's like white or whatever, and you dip in to it. Like you go underneath it, and you've got it's got a light in there and everything, and it's in a big. I can't remember. Is it Vox? Something? I don't know what it is. Vocal Booth to Go is a good site, and they've got a lot of different options on there. Absolutely, Isovox. Thank you, Jeff. Isovox. Now that's like $1,000 vocal booth, but I've always wanted to try because it looks cool. Like I swear, I have this little space here. Maybe I start doing like equipment. Would you guys like if I did like equipment? Let me ask you that question. Would it be cool if I did like equipment reviews? I mean, see, Mike's done equipment stuff, Mike Delgadio, forever, but I do think that, there's new stuff always coming out. So it would be cool. I don't know. Let me know if you guys would like me to do equipment reviews and stuff. I've always wondered if people would enjoy that. Anthony, can you read my previous comment? Oh, wait, Cammy, what? Hold on. I got distracted here. Let's see. Okay, well, let me go back up. We'll see. Z Wing just started my video. Okay, we just talked about that. Currently a chemical engineering consultant. What are your thoughts about investing in portable? So Danny, I think that it's a good idea to, you need something. If it needs to be portable, you got to figure out some. And I would look at Vocal Boost to Go, but and your microphone's going to play a massive part. I recommend a dynamic microphone, not a condenser microphone for your portable setup. You know what I'm saying? And really, really, really work on that proximity because that'll help you, right? Because the closer you get to the mic, but the mic's got to be able to handle it. Closer you can get to the mic. Also, remember, the less chance your voice has. Oh, I just hit the mic. The less chance your voice has to go everywhere. Let's see. Cammy says, wait, laugh out loud. There's a subscription of everything nowadays. There is. Believe so. It's $20 a month. It is $20. Okay, not bad. Yeah, it is $20. The Weekend Treat says, hey, Anthony, how can we ask clients to provide us with the finished video with our voiceovers? We can add those to in the portfolio. Great question. Anytime I send off a voiceover, I have kind of like a saved response. When I send a voiceover to a client, that says, hey, and by the way, when you get done, could you please send me, a link to the video? I'd love to see it. Right? Just you got to ask, and then there are times where you got to search. You know what I mean? You might just have to search for it. That's something. Let's see. Kimmy says, for my previous narrations, I was using the software Wondershare, free version. I have Audacity, but I don't know if I like it much. Okay. Nikki says you can just ask. I don't know what I'm falling. So Cammy, I'm not sure. So I definitely look into Adobe. Okay. Nikki says mine usually allow me the weekend treat. I just ask. Isovox Z says Fab filter plugin bundles are 25% right now on sale. That's another thing too. Make sure you go to these places and keep them, at the front so that when they do go on sale, you can get the stuff at better prices because they do go on sale often, especially like Isotope. Isotope RX9 standard. Everybody's got to have it. Everybody's got to have that. If there's one thing I don't care you can't like get around, that's it right there. That plug-in set standard RX9, but it's like $399. So when it's 50% off or it's $99, pay close attention to it. Let's see. So Cammy, I did read the comments. I'm not sure what you were saying though. I apologize. Thanks, Nikki. Jeff, that would be cool. Yes, equipment is so important. Awesome. Okay, well, yes, that would be good, Anthony, not just mics, though. I think you're right. I'd love to review all kinds of equipment. You could do equipment reviews. Here's my question to you guys. Let me ask you, because I've already tried Sweetwater and I've already tried these other places. My only contention I've ever had with the equipment was how do I afford to get like the equipment, You know what I mean? Like, how do I afford to get it? Because I got to pay for it because I can't get any of these places to send me any of this stuff, unfortunately. So I tried once with Sweetwater, and I love Sweetwater. They're awesome and all, but they basically told me, they're not doing that, or I'm not, I'm not popular enough for them to justify sending me equipment to review. So, but I'm gonna. That's awesome. Thank you guys for telling me that because I'd love to do it. You could do equipment reviews. Why not? Equipment review, good idea. Software review as well. Software review, that's a good idea. Thanks, Anthony. Kimmy says, what do you think of Audacity? Oh, listen, Audacity is a great place to start. It's free. It's getting, it's constantly being upgraded. People are, they try. It's open source, but it's a good platform. You're going to kind of, after a while, you're going to, good Lord, we got these people with all this stuff. I'm trying to block these people on YouTube that are posting these weird things in the chat about dating sites and stuff. What do you think? Yeah, so Audacity's great, but after a while, it's going to get, you're going to go too far. That's why I recommend if you do have Audacity, get a plugin suite like RX9 from Isotope. All right, but Audacity's great. I even have a beginning course on avosjourney.com for Audacity. To the plug right there. Nikki says I was replying to someone's question. Sorry, no worries. Let's see. Kami says, sorry, Live Loud. Just wanted to know what you think of Audacity. Absolutely. If you didn't buy gear to review it, it would all be tax deductible. That's true. Which bundle do you recommend for podcasting, audiobook processing? So when you mean what bundle, do you mean like what DAW? What do you mean? Oh, you mean like what bundle, like plugins? Is that what you mean? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Fab filter. I'm not. Oh, okay. That's what you're recommending. Okay, cool. I actually don't know Fab filter, but definitely will check it out. Thank you for telling us that. And maybe I can review that. And I think that's a good thing too, to review that kind of stuff. I appreciate it. And that'll give you some good content to do for the longer form videos, I think, is the reviews. As opposed, and I can still continue to do my short form. Well, listen, you guys rock. Thank you so much. I had a great time. It was good to be live again. And, I would definitely want to try to get back and doing this on Fridays again. Jeff says, have you or anyone using Acusonus suite plugins? I don't know. So I definitely going to go in and I'm going to start looking at. So by the way, here's another note. If you guys have any of that you want me to review too, don't be afraid to send it to me. Send me a message, anthonypicaproductions@gmail.com. You know what I mean? If you want to send me, like you said, hey, Anthony, would you review this? That would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. There's my email. All right, you guys, thank you so much. You have a wonderful, wonderful Friday and a good weekend. I really appreciate it. It was a blast. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Take it easy, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. All right, see you later.